Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your February 14th, 2022 Valentine's Day reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading and before we clear the energy space, I want to thank each and every one of you for your healing energy, for your well wishes, as I'm recovering from a concussion. So thank you so much. It has been a scary time. It has been an overwhelming time. And I just thank you so, so much for all your healing energy, for everything that you have done. This community is absolutely brilliant. I slipped, I fell, I hit my head. I didn't think it was going to be a big deal. I thought I was just going to walk it off, and that most definitely wasn't the case. So I'm still healing. I've come a long way, but thank you all for all your positive energy and all your healing. It has been absolutely just unbelievable. So thank you so much. Now let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Aquarius, February 14th, 2022, Aquarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. 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 Now, we have a bit of a different setup, so let me know what you think of it. At the front right here is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The back is our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. At our root, we have the Lovers, which is Gemini energy, which is absolutely beautiful for Valentine's Day. And we have the Hierophant. So there could be some of us who are looking for a bigger commitment within our relationships, and that is something that can definitely be coming forward. If we're already in a committed relationship, there's a strengthening of the bond between us on this day. And if we're not in a relationship at all and do not wish to be, there's a sense of falling in love with what we want and who we are and where it is that we desire being within our own lives. Because this day, this Valentine's Day, it isn't just about being with somebody. It is about the love, the energy that is around us on this 14th of February, on this day that is on our calendars, all about love, that we're told is about love and connection and beauty. And it's taking that energy and it's honing it for our own hearts and for what we deeply desire within our lives. It moves us to our public arena, not our public arena, our inner selves. And we have the Nine of Wands. We're taking everybody's opinions and everybody's words a little bit too seriously at this time. And then we have the Ten of Cups. happy family, you know, connection, love, brilliance, and they all live happily ever after. And that's going to be really quite beautiful, because it's like I get to embrace my life the way that my heart needs it, the way that I want to express it. It doesn't have to be in a conformist mentality, or it doesn't have to be in a way that anybody else fully understands or, you know, says my life should be going. It moves us then to our emotional self. We have the Ace of Pentacles, we have the Fool, and we have the Queen of Swords. Now, as air sign energy, we're represented by the swords in the minor arcana. We're represented by the star in the major arcana. So God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is handing us a gift, a prosperity of abundance on this earthly plane that is having us take a leap of faith towards what it is that we want, where it is that we want to be, what it is that's important to us. And we're cutting through doubts and fears and negativity to be able to stand in the essence of ourselves, in what we truly want from love and from the expression of our hearts. Our hearts and our minds are really starting to come together during this time, which is really quite brilliant. And then we have our public arena self. We have the Three of Wands. There's news coming in, there's news going out, there's a sense of more coming into our lives than we had realized there would be. And the Two of Cups, that's the minor arcana Lovers card coming into play, the sense of unity and connection and brilliance and beauty really coming forward, the sense of, you know, working together and being able to be guided in a direction or in a way of the heart that we hadn't thought we would be, or we didn't realize that our souls really needed and wanted. So let's look at the energy we need to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. This is the Lord. This is Aries energy. And what we have to be mindful of is falling into the dictations of others. It has to be a certain way. We see that coming in our inner selves, where we have other people's words really kind of beating us down, and it's going to be the sense of it has to be like this. And what Spirit is saying is that it doesn't have to be one certain way or another. Love gets to be expressed, explored, you know, discovered, and becoming in a way that is right for our souls and ourselves. Meaning, if it doesn't make you feel good, don't do it. Not like, you know, if you're sitting there and like, oh, I don't want to be bothered, you know, type of thing. But if it doesn't add to the beauty of our souls, do not do it. It does not matter what television says that we should, you know, want from life. It doesn't matter what people around us are saying we should want from life. This is a sense of, I need to be true to the inner voice inside of me. And if that inner voice is saying I need quiet and I need peace, then that is where we need to walk. That's the path we need to walk. If our inner voice is saying, you know, I need to be out in the middle of things, then yes, of course, do that as well, or follow that voice. But we need to know that each of us are different, and we need to value what our hearts long for, what our souls deeply want, and being present in the moment. Not saying, okay, next time I'll think to ask myself what I want, or I'll, you know, do what it is that makes me happy on this day, or any day for that matter. And we're looking at our chakra energy now. So let's see. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. And we have the inner child, the heart chakra coming through, really embracing our inner child, really embracing, oh goodness, what we want, what we love, who it is that we are, what's important to us, what isn't important to us. The heart here is saying, look at that inner child, look at that person that we once were, and say, I love you, I connect with you, I see you. Hold your arms open to that child and let that child run into our arms. It doesn't matter if we had the best childhood in the whole entire world or if we didn't. What matters is that we're connecting. We're connecting with that joyous, giggly, bubbly person that we once were, that person who could find fun and mischief in anything, and saying, I love you, I see you, I hear you, I will always be there for you, I will always protect you, I will always love you, I will always stand in the beauty that is you. It moves us to the astrological alignment of this time. And on the 14th of February, we have the waxing gibbous moon in Leo. Now this brings us towards action, because when the moon is waxing, it is progressing towards being full, which means that the energy around us is forcing us, is focusing us and forcing us to complete our goals and to look at how we are progressing in our lives. So that energy comes forward during this time, and we need to embrace action, but not embrace, simply, completing goals for the sake of completing goals. Yes, we have to. Of course, we have things that we need to do and how we need to progress within our lives. But we need to also be able to say, I'm showing up for me. I'm embracing my heart, my passion, my soul, myself in this beautiful way. The moon is opposite Pluto. Now, this brings intense hidden emotions to the surface, and they start to demand our attention. Our feelings are not only going to be intense, but they are also going to be complex. And the moon is going to be opposite Mercury, which on the outside will have us appearing just fine. Everything's beautiful, cheerful, that's great. But inside, there's a fragility that's not only, for us, that needs to be acknowledged. And it's not only there for us to say, oh, I'm just being silly about things. No. We need to acknowledge that fragility of the inner child, of our own insecurities, and look at what we need, how we're discovering moving forward, what it is that we desire from our lives, because we're moving forward in the energy of the lovers. And that's Mercury energy. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So we have to be very mindful of the false smile that we put on, and yet what we are deeply wanting and needing within our own hearts, within our own self. So the lovers comes forward here and says there is beautiful energy of love that needs to be seen, that needs to be heard. There's a connection that our angels are guiding us towards, whether it's the inner connection of our sacred masculine, sacred feminine energy, whether it's an external connection with our partner or just with the world in general. We need to start falling in love. We need to start making love our guide, emotion our guide, healing our guide, being present. I've been doing a meditation. I do forget the name of it, but it starts with an M, and it's a hand movement meditation where you are in the present and you keep your eyes open. You have your hands moving in this certain way, and it just lets you be in the present of the now, and it lets you look at the present and not let ourselves be chased away by our thoughts, chased away by the distractions of the world. And I'm doing that to help heal my head, but it's also, I'm finding it to be so very powerful to be in the present of the now. And that's even in love, like even in our world, even in our conversations. Let me be present. Let me show up. Let me see what that feels like instead of being distracted, instead of being whatever. And that's going to be very important on this day for us to embrace the love of connection. And it brings us to the Hierophant. It brings us to tradition. So again, it could be wanting something much more stable and serious from a relationship, or it can be wanting a relationship, if we're single, that has, not validity to it, that's the wrong word, but has substance to it, that has, a future to it. And we're looking at things with the Hierophant, and it's saying, what are the traditions that are right for me? What are the traditions that aren't right for me? The Hierophant is, the major arcana marriage card. It is the card of connection, but it's also the card of ritual and rules, because the Hierophant represents the Pope in the major arcana, right? And in medieval times, the Pope was the most powerful person in all of the medieval world. So here we have the Pope coming forward. We have this sense of tradition, we have this sense of structure, we have this sense of power coming forward. But instead of it being in an institution, let it be within ourselves. Let us see, what do we need for us? What do I desire? What do I want? What are the keys to my own happiness and my own flourishing on this earth and at this time? It brings us to the Nine of Wands. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this is a person with a bandage around their head, their arm in a sling, leaning on a wand. They've been through a battle and they have the wands around them. So this is a time where we look at, what it is that we need, what it is that is important to us, how it is that others have been trying to beat us down. And now we start to see and really express what is right for our heart, what is right for ourselves, where we let the love in. The 10 of Cups is, and they all live happily ever after. The kick of the matter is that happiness for me can very well be different than happiness for you. So when we have happiness coming forward, we need to define it at an individual level. What is right for me? And then we also need to understand that just as the moon has its phases, we ourselves have our phases and the faces that we show to the world at one certain time or another. So to embrace happiness as a changing mercurial thing that gets to expand and grow with us, it's going to be very important. And it's going to be something where if you listen to people who had the old, the thermometers, when they were little and they had mercury in them. My mom will talk about playing with them, and she's like, it was so much fun. And I think, oh my gosh, that was so dangerous. But that's going to be the way that it is. It's like things really do start to change. And as we see it changing, as we, see that we can't ever really pinpoint it down, that's how we have to look at our own happiness, to be in the moment of the changing of the happiness, that following of that is going to be something that's really quite fun and really quite beautiful. It leads us to our hearts being handed a gift by God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, this gift of prosperity and abundance and bounty, this gift of moving into the next cycle of our lives, seeing what we are planting, what we are harvesting into our existence. What do we want? What do we need? What's appropriate for us? What isn't appropriate for us? What is it that lets our hearts really expand and express who we are and how we move forward within our lives? And that gift comes to us in the most beautiful of ways. And it has us looking and saying, I can take that leap of faith. I can take that leap of faith on where it is I want to be, of what it is that I desire for myself, of how it is that I'm opening up the door. I am taking that leap of faith to look at the beauty, to look at the construct of me, and to say there is more here than meets the eye. There is more that I am expanding on, that I am building towards, that I'm opening up myself to, that gets to be beautiful, that gets to be self, discovery, and that gets to be more about me than I realized. The fool risks being seen as foolish. And so here we're risking our hearts being seen as foolish by a world that says it has to be this certain way. Remember, every single hero, every single person that starts their hero's journey is first and foremost a fool, is somebody who's going against the conventional grain. And it doesn't mean that we have to do something extraordinary with this. What it means is that we have to be brave enough to let our hearts take that leap and to see where that leap, where that, discovery takes us. And it moves us to the Queen of Swords. It moves us to us as a queen, as a person who cuts through doubts and fears and negativity, who says, this is what I've been working for, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is who I am. The Queen of Swords is the most masculine of all the queens. And because she is the most masculine of the queens, she kind of gets a bad rap. But there is nothing bad about the Queen of Swords. She cuts through the nonsense. She's trained. You don't just pick up a sword and know how to use it. It's not instinctual. It is something that takes tremendous amount of practice, or else you can really hurt yourself. And so here she's using that practice. She is taking what she has learned, and she is moving towards what is right, what is true, and what is just for her. And that is what we are all doing. We are looking at the world that as we've learned it, and moving towards what is right, just, and true for us. And as we do so, we're going to start to see new avenues opening. Here it says action and adventure and luck, and action and adventure and luck written around like a mantra. And so with the Three of Wands, we're going to start to see ourselves opening more and more to what we want, to who we are, to what we're discovering. We're going to start to see that there is more here than meets the eye. There is a bit of an adventure that we are going on, and it could be greater for each and every one of us. And so as we embrace this adventure, we embrace who we are, and we start to really let the light of our heart shine forward. And as we do so, it brings us to the Two of Cups. It brings us to partnership and harmony and peace, which is what we all simply want. And this partnership, this harmony, this peace that gets to be a part of us on this Valentine's Day, on this day of love, is going to be quite extraordinary, and is quite extraordinary for us. It is the union, it is the healing, it is the connection that this day is all about, and we are absolutely embracing it. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Prince of Pentacles, is the honeyed words from somebody who does not meet them. It is money showing over action, type of thing. So just be very mindful of this. Be very mindful of things not being as clear and things not being as honest as they should be. And of course, the Pentacles energy is Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. It moves us to our subconscious chakra energy, which is balance, love, our root chakra, falling into balance, falling into harmony with what we want, with what we love, with what is important to each and every one of us. And that balance of the root chakra is so beautiful. It moves us to our subconscious rooted energy, and that's the Hermit. It's turning inward. It's letting the light illuminate. It's seeing what the heart wants. It's looking at the self in a way that isn't, angry or bitter or frustrated, but is simply saying, you know what? I'm discovering me as I'm on the way to discovering everything else. And that's okay. We tend to think, oh, I have to have it all figured out. And we put so much pressure on the self. If I'm not happy, if I'm not this, if I'm not that. We all have our blue days. We all have our days of stress and worry and hurt and fear. And we all have our times when, it's just all too much. But when we look inward and we get to say, I like the person that I am. And we get to discover on how to like the person that we are. And we get to turn inward and see our wishes lighting our way forward. That's really beautiful. What our soul deeply wants. And saying, well, can I follow this? Can I follow who I truly am? And peace and beauty and harmony and connection. It brings us to our subconscious inner self. And that's the High Priestess. The veil is being lifted from our eyes. And we are starting to see things so much more clearly, so much more openly, so much more honestly than we have before. And as that clarity comes in, we are looking at ourselves, we are looking at the world around us and saying, you know what, I'm not buying what you're selling. To the world around us. To ourselves, we can even say that to us. You know what? No, I don't need that to be happy. I don't want that to be happy. I need to listen to me. And on this day, when we're talking about love, when we're connected with love, we also start to look at the way love is marketed to us. It's always the erotic love, the eros love, that is just, all-encompassing and fantastic. Yes, that love lasts for 6 months, 18 months, 6 to 18 months, okay? That's how long that sort of all-encompassing love can last. And then the dopamine levels start to even themselves out. And then what we find is that we're left with our baseline happiness. And we're left with the baseline happiness of our partner. And so here, what we're looking at is we're looking at things more openly and more honestly. What is the love that builds a future? What is the love that is a solid foundation? What is the love that I need, either with another person or just for myself? And that becomes a powerful question to ask. The answer might surprise us. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self. And that's justice. This is Libra energy. This is cutting through doubts and fears and negativity and finding the balance. And that balance is extraordinary. It's not saying I have to be just, I have to be fair to everyone. It is saying I have to be just and fair to me. And I have to see what that justice, what that fairness looks like. It's being discerning with the energy that we let into our hearts. And it moves us to our subconscious emotional self. Not emotional, public arena self. Which, again, yeah, it is emotional, and it's the star. And that is us. It is the guiding light. It is inspiration. It is faith. It is hope. It is miracles. It is influence and energy. And that's what we're going to be moving forward in. This is the essence of us in the public arena. We are shining. We are helping ourselves move forward. We are embracing the very essence of who we are. And we're letting ourselves shine. That's why whenever I see the hermit, right, and it has the star in the container, right, as this lantern to lead us forward. We are the star. It is us who is leading us forward. And that is the extraordinary thing. That is the beautiful thing. That it is us that is leading us towards so much more than we expected. And here it is looking at our dreams and our wishes. It is looking at what we cross our fingers for, but it's also looking at that hope within our own hearts. That thing that we deeply long for and want, that we might not even realize we want it so much. We might be terrified of saying it out loud. We're going to start to see our heart leading us in that direction to what it is we deeply want within our world and how it is we peacefully and beautifully shine. All right, Aquarius, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, the intensity, the love, the healing that is around us at this time. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. may you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aquarius, and may you have a blessed Valentine's Day.